Hi there. Welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Leader podcast. I'm your host, Richard Fontenay, and today we've got an exciting topic that's more relevant than ever. Remote communications for those everyday leaders who are living the home office life. So, grab your cup of coffee, or if you're listening, put your earphones on at the office, and settle back into a comfy chair, and let's just drive right in. And if you're driving your vehicle and listening to this podcast, please drive safely and keep your eye on the road. You know, with the rise of remote work, we've all had to adjust our leadership styles. Gone are the days of face-to-face meetings and water cooler chats. Yeah, we are now living in that virtual world that our forefathers only dreamed about. Today, we'll explore the ins and outs of remote communications and how you can master this skill just like a pro. But first, let's talk a little bit about remote work. Remote work has become increasingly popular recently, and the COVID-19 pandemic really has only accelerated this trend. According to a recent article in the Harvard Business Review, remote work presents us with unique challenges, including the need to be approachable, visible, and mindful. It also suggests the importance of frequent check-ins with individual team members. Another article in the Forbes magazine suggests that remote work can facilitate greater collaboration and communication, but it has a proviso. It can also be difficult for leaders to create an environment where trust and respect flourish. That's now particularly because they cannot see their employees face to face. A published report by the Saskatchewan government in Canada provided guidelines for remote work and suggested similar views. Like the Harvard Business Review, it suggested that if leaders are approachable, visible, and mindful, and if they establish daily check-ins with their remote employees, they too can be successful. I have provided the links to these articles and this guide in the description below. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to briefly touch on a fascinating trend that's been emerging in the realm of remote work and leadership. While this podcast is primarily focusing on the everyday leader who works from home, it's essential to recognize another dynamic group, the digital nomad, those entrepreneurs and affiliate marketers who wander the world. In recent years, we've witnessed a surge in individuals who have taken remote work to a whole new level. These intrepid souls have embraced a lifestyle where they work from anywhere, often as affiliate marketers, content creators, or online business owners. Their office could be a beachside cafe in Bali, a bustling co-working space in Barcelona, or a serene cabin in the woods. Now, although their circumstances differ from the traditional everyday leader working from home, there are valuable lessons we can draw from their experiences. They've mastered the art of self-discipline, time management, and building online communities. They've leveraged technology to forge global connections and turn their passion into a profit. Now, while this podcast primarily caters to those who lead teams from the comfort of their home office, it's important to acknowledge and celebrate the digital nomads and those affiliate marketers who have redefined the way we work and live in the digital age. Their journey inspires us to think beyond borders and seize the opportunities that remote work presents. Now, let's dive into our topic of the day: remote work for the everyday leader who leads from home. Now, I've got to say that the remote work revolution didn't just change where we work. It changed how we communicate. And honestly, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. Now, I'm speaking from experience here, because at one time I ran a very successful bricks and mortar consulting, coaching, and training business for over 35 years. I now lead from home, coaching people who live in various parts of the world. To meet this change, I too had to adjust my leadership style. So let's start with the basics. First off, let's talk about the most fundamental tool in our remote communication arsenal: good old email. I know we've all sent our fair share of emails, but when you're leading remotely, there's an art to it. It's not just about typing words, it's about conveying tone and building relationships and getting your message across clearly. Now, one tip that's helped me is to think of email as conversation pieces. When you write an email, imagine you're sitting across from the recipient, having a chat. It makes your messages feel more personal and less robotic. Now, let's not forget about the wonder of video calls. Zoom, Skype, Microsoft Teams, and my favorite, Google Meet. They're our lifelines. But here's the thing, folks. It's not just about showing up on camera. You've got to set the stage for success. Yeah, there's a need for lighting, a decent backdrop, and our own dress. You want to make sure you're presenting yourself in the best possible way because, let's face it, first impressions matter, even in the virtual world. Now let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Meetings. The joys of remote meetings. They can be a blessing or they can be a curse. But here's the secret sauce: structure. So here's the deal. Have a clear agenda, stick to a schedule, and make sure everyone knows their role. Don't let meetings turn into a never-ending saga. Efficient, well-run meetings are the cornerstone of effective remote leadership. And speaking of structure, let's touch on another vital aspect of remote communication: project management. Tools like Trello, Asana, and Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Projects can be your best friends when it comes to keeping your team on track. So set clear goals, assign tasks, and use these tools to track progress. When everyone's on the same page and can see the big picture, it's easier to stay motivated and work together, even if you're miles apart. Now, before we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with 5 of my best practical tips for navigating the remote work landscape. First, foster open and regular communication with your team. Use a variety of channels like email, video calls, and messaging apps to stay connected. Keep the lines of communication open so that everyone feels heard and valued. Second, set clear expectations and make sure your team knows what's expected of them, both in terms of tasks and performance. When everyone knows their role, it's certainly easier to work together effectively. Third, embrace flexibility. Remote work offers the opportunity for a more flexible work-life balance. Trust your team to manage their time and focus on results, rather than micromanaging their every move. And fourth, invest in the right technology. Make sure your team has the tools they need to collaborate and work efficiently. This includes project management software, video conferencing tools, and secure data sharing platforms. And finally, tip number 5, show empathy. Remember that your team members are facing their own challenges, and remote work can be isolated. So check on their well-being, offer them support when needed, and create a culture of care and understanding. Now, as we close this episode, I want to leave you with a call to action. If you're an everyday leader working from home, take a moment today to reflect on your remote communication skills. Are there areas where you can improve? Have you been fostering a sense of connection and empathy within your team? So let's make a commitment to continually grow as remote leaders, to adapt, and to thrive in this ever-changing work landscape. Remember, your role as a leader is not defined by your physical location, but by your ability to inspire and guide your team, no matter where they are. And there you have it, folks. Our crash course in remote communications for everyday leaders. It's all about adapting, staying organized, and never losing sight of the human connection. So go forth, lead from home, and rock those virtual conversations. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Everyday Leader podcast. Now, if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow remote leaders. Until next Wednesday, I'm Richard Fontenay. Stay safe, stay well, and continue becoming the best version of yourself. Bye for now.